$100 million net worth by age 40. That is my big grand financial plan, okay? $100 million net worth by age 40. I am age 28 right now as I'm recording this video. So I basically have 12 years to pull this off, and I'm not even remotely close to $100 million net worth. Like, it's so far away, it's hard to even see. But it's a big goal of mine, and it's my main financial goal for the long term, and it's actually my only long-term financial goal I have for myself, okay? I always usually just set more short-term goals just so I kind of keep on track and whatnot. This is the only big, huge financial goal I have for the long term, okay? So I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I kind of plan on doing this and kind of like breaking down the numbers to you guys and kind of, so you can kind of understand your own life. Like, what are your goals over the next 10, 15 years? I would love to hear from you guys, so feel free to share in that comment section. So 100 mil by 40. This is going to be hard to pull off, guys. This is going to be hard to pull off. So I'm going to show you kind of how I think about this and whatnot. So obviously, if I'm going to pull this off, I got to have a huge income, right? Not only that, I got to get great returns in whatever I'm investing in, okay? So I'm a stock market investor. So the way I think about this is, in order to get 100 mil in a 12-year span, okay, 12 years to do this, I would need to be putting at least around $1 million a year into my brokerage account, okay? So if I'm putting $1 million a year, then that basically means I need to be making somewhere around close to $2 million per year, right? Because obviously I'm gonna have taxes taken out of that. Now I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here in Las Vegas, we don't have here in Nevada, we don't have a state tax, okay? So that's beautiful. Here in Nevada, we don't have a state tax. So all I have to pay is my federal tax, and then obviously you have living expenses and all those kind of things. And I would assume, if I had $2 million income, well, obviously we'd probably be living even a more grand lifestyle, right? It's hard to make that kind of money and still live conservatively. Not impossible, but it's kind of hard because you're like, oh, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, and those kind of things. But let's say I still got $1 million a year to put toward investing, okay? So my goal always with stock market investing is to get 30 to 40% return on my money per year, okay? I've done this most years. By the way, last year I would have been the most insane year I ever had if it was not for freaking GoPro. So as long as I can avoid another GoPro situation, I'm gonna do phenomenal in the stock market. So I'm very comfortable saying I can probably get 30% per year, okay? So if I get 30% each one of those years, which hopefully some years are better than that, some years probably won't be as good, depending on what's going on in the market. Hopefully if we do have a downturn, I play that correctly as far as put options and making money there so I can still get my returns up, right? There's a lot of money to be made in a recession. I just want to put that out there. So if I'm putting at least $1 million a year, getting 30% per year for the next 12 years, that puts me somewhere around $100 million net worth, maybe just under that, somewhere right around that, okay? Hard to do, absolutely, because let's think about like where I'm at right now, okay? So this is where we need to get to. Where am I at right now? Well, currently, in 2018, we'll probably do somewhere between $250,000 to $350,000 if it goes really well in income, okay? $250,000 to $350,000. Basically, that means I have around $150,000 per year to put toward the stock market. So if I put $150,000 towards stock market investing and I can get a 30% return per year, then that puts me somewhere around maybe a $15 million net worth, which certainly isn't something to sneeze at or not be proud of or something. That's awesome. But it's not $100 million, guys. It's not $100 million. So basically, we've got to get from here, where we're at right now as I'm recording this video, to over here. So how the heck are we going to do this? How the heck are we going to pull this off? It's going to be hard, right? So what I'm doing right now, okay, what I'm doing right now as far as like book sales and course sales and obviously the financial education channel and the products I help to make other people money, right? Those type of things, the best case scenario I ever see this going is about 3 times better than it's going now. And that's the best case scenario. I never see it getting better than that, just realistically when I look at the things out there, okay? So if we do, 3 times that amount, then maybe we're doing $750K per year to maybe, somewhere around $1 million a year. You take taxes out of that and maybe we've got, $500,000 to put toward stocks per year. Then we still got to get that 30% return, and then we're still not even close to $100 million. So basically, this whole deal is not going to get us there. That's not going to get us there. It's just not realistic unless we somehow, went way above and beyond what I think is realistic. Which, like I said, best case scenario, I really see 3 times that amount. Okay, so what I kind of think will get me there to a $100 million net worth is by age 40. Is something totally unrelated to this channel, something totally unrelated to anything I'm doing right now. And it's going to be a business, okay? It's going to be starting a business of some kind. And that business, the way I think about it is from this business, I don't necessarily care to make $100 million in profit from this business. If that happened, that would be great, okay? What I'm kind of thinking about, whatever business I end up starting, whenever that comes to me, right? I'm kind of thinking about this is, how do I get $100 million valuation on that business, okay? How do I get $100 million valuation on the business? Now, if I can get a $100 million valuation and I own 100% of the company, then I'm worth $100 million, right? I can sell that to some other company that will pay that $100 million, and boom, I've done it. I'm there, okay? Now, I think I can probably pull this off. I don't know what kind of business it is. If I knew what kind of business it was, I would drop everything I'm doing today and I would go after that business. I have no clue what that is right now, but I think I got a lot of confidence in myself that I can pull it off. And here's why, okay? So I've started, small businesses. I've started small businesses and I've been a success at that. So I know the process of building a business from the ground up and kind of getting it going and whatnot. I have yet to build a really big business, okay? Something that would get me $100 million valuation. However, I have a massive amount of knowledge, obviously, of, how to scale up a business because I study businesses all the time because I'm an investor in stocks, right? And I look into companies that have all different sizes and whatnot. I look into their background, how they scaled that business up. I look at private companies, how they did it. I've watched so many documentaries on so many people and whatnot. I really understand the process of scaling a business, okay? I have yet to prove I can scale a business to become a huge business like that, but I understand the process of how so many businesses and so many industries did it. So, being that I've been a success in small business and being that I have a, fundamental understanding at least of how to scale a business to get to this point, I think that could potentially propel me. And then you take into the fact that in order to build a business, a big business like this, you either have to have usually funding, okay, so you got to raise money from investors. It's not always the easiest thing. Right now, it's probably easier than most times, right, because money's just sloshing around out there. But for me, since I have a big income and since I'll already have a big net worth over time, right, I should be able to fund that business 100% myself and not even need investors. So I'm 100% owner of whatever business I start because I got money, so I don't need to take other people's money unless this idea is so big that, it takes millions upon millions or tens of millions of dollars to get off the ground or something like that. Unless it's something like that, like I can fund the business myself and have 100% ownership in it, which is a big thing when you're starting business. If you have money and you can invest in things and you can take the more long-term approach and not care so much about the short-term profits, that's when you can really have success. And also, I'm always paying attention, okay? I'm always paying attention to what's going on in the business landscape, what opportunities are. And I've seen a lot of opportunities over, the past 5 years or so, but I've never been able to execute on them. One, because at those times, mostly, I had yet to even prove I could start a small business, right? Now that I did that with my real estate marketing company, which I actually just gave up, right, to pursue this, now that this has been a success and whatnot, I've proven to myself I can at least do that correctly, build a small business, okay? Build a 6-figure-a-year business, right? So now that I pay attention to everything and I can see all these things and I've executed on that, now I can take it to the next level, guys, and build from there. So when I kind of think about this, how am I going to realistically get to $100 million net worth in a 12-year span? It's really about starting a business that I can get $100 million valuation for that business and sell it off. And who knows, maybe I won't want to sell it off. Maybe I want to keep it and keep building from there. It would just kind of depend on things. But at the end of the day, it's not about making $100 million. It's about having $100 million net worth, okay? So those are two different things. It doesn't mean I had to make $100 million in profit. It just means that through my valuation of whatever business I started, it's worth 100 million. I'm worth 100 million at that point, guys. So that's how I realistically think I can pull it off. It's going to be a long climb, and I don't know what business it will be, you know, whenever that time comes. I really don't know, guys, and it might not come for, you know, years from now. Who knows? I might be 34 years old, and then all of a sudden, finally, this business idea comes to me or something. So, you know, you never know what it is, but whenever the time does come, I will need to pursue that 100%, and I'll have to put down pretty much everything I'm doing here, which will be, you know, a hard decision at that particular time. But for now, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing here and trying to help out people make money in business and stock market and all those kind of things. So right now I'm focused on this, but when that opportunity presents itself, I'm going to go all in on that. But who knows when that time will come, guys. You know, it's a waiting game. You can't be impatient with this type of stuff. You know, when you start getting impatient with things, that's when you start, you know, kind of losing confidence and losing your long-term focus and whatnot. I got to focus on what I got going now. When that opportunity presents itself, that's when I go after it, guys. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, let me know in that comment section what you thought about this video and kind of, you know, your plans over the next 10, 15 years. If you even have any plans, I would love to hear from you guys. So thank you for watching and have a great day.